Alright. Back in Legend of Mana, this is where we left off last time, and we are at home. For those of you watching on YouTube, thank you. For those of you in the stream chat, thank you for watching, guys. Again, this is pulled from my stream, so those of you on YouTube, expect to see me looking to the right a lot, looking towards my chat, interacting with my chat. But other than that, let's go ahead and get started. You want to, on your 100% playthrough from the very beginning, you want to ignore this chest. I know it's tempting, leave it alone, there's 100 lucre in there. But our first quest that they're going to be participating in, you're going to lose money if you end up opening this chest. Unless if you follow this particular guide, in which you'll still lose all this money. But you won't lose as much if you follow, I guess, what most people would consider the I'm going to do this game now path. Which is where they go out here, talk to this guy, get the first artifact, and then just bum rush the game and see what happens. But I'm going to guide you through it, so follow this guide and you will get 100% of the story. This is a Sproutling. Sproutlings are characters in the game that are all interconnected with one another. One is the other is the other. They are all the same. They are all one entity spread across multiple beings, so to speak. And they interact intimately with the mana tree itself. So we're going to give a quick tour of the house. This is your monster corral, where you'll tame, where your tamed monsters will go. You'll raise them, that sort of thing. This is your workshop. This will become more important a little bit later in the game, but not by much. If you follow this guide, you're going to get that thing filled out quite quickly. And down here, you will have what will be eventually your orchard, where you'll make plants. You'll have a tree that will grow vegetables and stuff like that for you when you have the seeds. Alright, now that we've talked to the Sproutling and he has given us the artifact color blocks, that is the town of Domina. Quick explanation. Down here in the bottom left, you see little figures. Those are the different spirits in the game. And every place has a certain types of mana innate to that place. Innately, my home has one wisp, one dryad, and one gnome mana. The importance of having mana at home is it affects the growth of your plants and vegetables and stuff like that, because they feed off of mana to be able to grow. Certain ones need certain types of mana to grow faster, grow bigger, grow better, that sort of thing. The other important fact about it is, say this coloring blocks here has 2 light mana and 1 salamander mana. When I place this, it's going to affect the mana that's at my home. Positively affect it. So the mana from this town is going to then be transferred to my home. Notice it changed. This is a subtle and very misunderstood aspect of the game, because certain quests require certain amounts of mana to spawn. I'm not always 100% correct of what exactly that amount is. For certain quests, some of the other ones I do know, but I know this much, that if you follow the pattern of placing all the artifacts where I show you throughout this guide, you will get every single one of them spawned correctly, and you will have no problems with any mana issues. Another thing to note is certain manas counteract one another, like the dark mana versus the light mana, they counter one another, that sort of thing. And it also influences the power and strength of particular monsters in a place based on what types of mana influence that area and how much there is. Alright, our first area, Domina, we found the Onion Knight talking to a guy named El Azul, or at least I believe that's how you say his name. Basically, El Azul's being a pompous prick, and the Onion Knight is fed up with it. Most people who play this game immediately follow one or the other of these guys. You want to ignore this engagement for the time being, and you want to head on over to the north, and you want to meet a guy named Niccolo. He is a rabbit, and he's a traveling merchant, and he's kind of a douchebag, but he gets better towards the end of the game. And then he changes right back, but it's okay. Alright, my name is Niccolo. I'm a traveling merchant, but the highway is full of bandits. It's too dangerous to leave the town, don't you think so? You want to tell him, no. You believe you are strong enough to go out there and take care of those bandits. Let's go teach those bandits the lessons. Yeah, that's right. We're going to go teach them lessons. Now, take note of this particular comment. He says, once we're done, I'll make you rich. And you're like, okay, let's do it. You're quite the mercenary. I like people who know the value of money. At the end of this quest, he's going to contradict that very statement by saying he hates people who value money too much. Essentially. Now, to go ahead and get the quest started, he just said he wanted to talk to his friend named Tipo. She lives here in town, or it lives here in town. I don't know if it's a she or a he. It's a magical water jug thing. And lives down here in this little hut in this door. You excuse yourself around the onion night, and you want to talk to Tipo. Got anything good for me? Actually, I have a splendid item today, but I just can't let it go. Oh, hey, Niccolo. You're just trying to rile me up. It's just junk anyway. Quiet, onion. This is a wheel I picked up on the highway. It looks like a regular wheel to me. Fine. I'm going. You're right. It's just a normal wheel. Nothing special. Hey, hang on there, guy. Even I can tell it ain't no regular wheel. I'll take it. How much you want for it? 50,000 in lucre, which is obscenely expensive. So, what's going to happen is, because he can't afford that money, he's just going to give it to me, which is exactly what we want. Because this is the artifact we need with the mana in it to spawn... Excuse me? Spawn the area called Luon's Highway, which is where we need to go. So we want to go back to the world map and place this artifact. Notice in the top left of your screen you see the little seedling that has a little sprout in it. It corresponds to the amount of mana in the world. The more mana there is, the bigger that tree is going to get. You want to place this artifact right here beside your house. And now we've made it to Luon Highway. I love how it pops up like a little picture book. Alright, if this is your first time playing the game, you want to talk to this guy. He'll teach you about how to fight, skills, and abilities. We'll go through that as we go along the game. I'm going to ignore him for now because I know how. And our first fight. And I'm getting wrecked because they have such status. They affect my ability to fight by slowing me down, confusing me, stuff like that. Niccolo, you're a douchebag for taking 5 of those. The crystals are your experience points. You want to collect all of them. Something to note about the rabbits, when they shoot little stars like that, that ability takes down your special meter, which is that meter below my health, which tells me when I can do a special ability. Special abilities are affected by these skills here. Those skills that you change in and out, triangle causes me to jump now, circle causes me to lunge forward. They can affect how you can fight, but also, depending on which ones you have, you can learn other abilities. Niccolo, you gotta stop taking my experience points, bro. It affects what abilities you can learn, and certain ones in combination with others allow you to learn special attacks with your particular weapon. So when you change weapons, you won't have the same special abilities as others, so you have to learn them. So you want to talk to this girl, this cat girl. I do not know how to say her name for the life of me. Dina. I call her Cat Lady, and we'll go with that. And she comes from Gato. Did you come to see one of the 7 wisdoms? He, of course, is like, hey, you got cute ears. We were meant for one another. Excuse me, I wasn't talking to you. She's asking if we're going to go see the wisdoms. You can say whatever you want here. You'll have to excuse me. I'm kind of tired. But you want to say, I came to see the wisdoms. Actually, I just woke up, really. So I'm not really tired. I'm just waking up. You must be very brave. I'm afraid to see him. I fear that the truth will make me suffer more. You want to ignore her for now, grab this chest, and head on to the north. She'll play a really big role in the game in certain storylines, but that's later on. Niccolo, would you fight and not take my experience points? Please? Please? Thank you. Notice how most of the time I don't actually spam any ability when I'm attacking. I don't click X over and over again. I stagger it out like this and using just the first attack. The reason why I'm doing that is it causes the enemy to stagger and be unable, for most enemies, to be able to retaliate. This saves me health, and in the long haul saves me time. Great, we learned a special ability. So you go down your skills, wherever you want to equip that button, or that skill to, we're going to put it on R2. And we're going to put Shield Breaker there, and we'll put Rising Crush on the other one. The yawning today is real. Oh, he actually landed it. That's surprising. Nice. Got another special ability, Lunging Arc. I switched it to Jump and Lunge because I know there's a lot of abilities that are based off of those 2 skills. Alright, so now you've made it to the boss area. Hey, I know the cash. And you want to tell them no, you're going to give them candy. And they're going to laugh at you. And here's that statement I was talking about earlier. These guys are mad for money, I can't stand them. Even though he was just earlier talking about how money and how he valued people who liked money. And we're going to see one of the most common opponents in Legend of Mana games is the Mantis Ant. Walk up to him, stagger him by pacing out your attacks. This is easier with faster weapons, a little bit harder with a slower weapon, because it's really easy to accidentally do what I just did, which is hit the second attack. We're going to go ahead and use our special ability, see if we can't dish out some damage. And Niccolo literally just knocked him right out of the area of our attack. Oh well. Pacing out my attacks so he can't fight me back. There we go. Easy, easy, easy. Yeah, we got all of them. Nice. The big ones give you tons more experience than the little ones. So it's important you try to get all of them. Wonderful. I knew you could do it. Yeah, I know I could do it. Have you seen me? I'm a hero. I'm OP. Thank you. You really are something else. I'll make you rich. So he's going to give us a lot of stuff here. One of them being the Iron Pot, which is basically a helmet, and you want to put it on. Normally this would cost you 3,000 lucre. It can be yours for only 300. But because we didn't open that chest earlier, we don't have 300. So, well, because we haven't ran around and done more quests, we don't have 300. So he's going to take all the money I have, which is literally everything that I've collected while I was here. Had I opened that chest earlier from home, he would have taken that too. So that's why we didn't open it. That way you save yourself some cash. Alright, that's our first quest. He's going to give us our 2 artifacts, the artifact of the flame and the artifact of the medallion. And what are you frowning at? Smile. Let the world know you're happy. After all, I'm a merchant. I want to make my customers happy. I enjoy laughing. You should too. Well, adios. And he's going to stop one more time, tell me to smile, and then he's going to run away. And that completes our first quest, Niccolo's Business Unusual. Every time you complete a quest and it says the end, it's going to spawn you back outside. After each one, you want to go home. God, excuse me, I'm yawning all the time. There you go. Lean back. Put less pressure on my chest. Alright. You're going to go upstairs after every quest and talk to this cactus. And basically what you're doing is you're telling him the story of whatever event or adventure you just went on. He's going to say a little bit about it. Money crazy is what he said here. And then he's going to waddle over there real cutely and write in his leaf journal. His little diary. Alright, now that we're done with that, we're going to walk outside and a pelican's going to meet us at our front door. Talking about something's going on in Western Domina. And we're going to start our quest, the Little Sorcerers. I look ugly when I yawn. I'm so upset that I'm yawning all the time. Alright. We want to go back to Domina and head straight to the left when we round the corner. Again, we want to ignore the pub and all the stuff that happened there. And head on over to the left. Here is the Park of the Mana Angel. This is Diddle and Capella. We're going to ignore them for now, but that will be important quest characters here in a little bit. I'm going to do quests in chunks. Previously I thought I would make a video about every single quest, so you could view them as you go, if you're looking for a particular quest. Then I just realized that would mean 67 plus videos, and it would take forever. So I'm going to do them in small chunks. So here we meet Lisa and Bud. Bud and Lisa are the son and daughter of a previously kicked out mage, like kicked out of the Magic Academy, that is. They're going to try to take over the world with their pumpkins. But we're going to stop them. So you walk forward, and he's going to tell you that we should kneel before him, and then we're going to fight him. He's going to teach me a lesson. So ignore Bud in the beginning and go straight for Lisa. Reason being is she does more often magic damage, and is much more of a nuisance than Bud is. Want to just stagger her where you can. She's got the ability to push you away, and Bud is a fighter. He's more aggressive. Well, he's not a fighter. He is a mage, but he's more aggressive. I moved closer because the area where those lights are at is where the spell actually activates. Excuse me. And it's where it actually hits. So that confused him. So we want to focus her while we have a chance, if we can actually hit her and stop getting whirled around. She has the ability Whirl, which pushes an opponent back and turns them around, which is really, really useful. It's a combination of spin and push. She's almost dead. Nice. And now we're going to walk on over here and take care of Bud. When you get right on top of them and they have nowhere to go, and you do what I talked about earlier, slowing your attack and just using the first attack, you stagger. And they have a less chance of getting away, as he just gets away when I'm explaining it. But for the most part, especially, it's more true on the big bosses. They kind of get stuck doing this, and they can't get away. So he's going to ask to be your apprentice, and you want to tell him, hell yeah. The reason why it's important is these guys do one of two things. If you're playing two-player, or wanting to play two-player, this allows you off your second quest to have your first consistent companions. If you're playing two-player, your first companion, which was Niccolo, your second player really could have played him if you had it on control mode. That being said, we want to go back home, tell our little cactus about our adventures, and Bud and Lisa will now live at your home. So anytime you get done with the quest line and you feel like you need to take a break and you're not saving while you're in the field, you can save at your bed at home, and next time you log in you can pick up one of your companions, Bud or Lisa, and take them out with you, unless if you need to keep them here for a particular quest reason. So we're going to save. And again, I'm going to cut it here because it's getting late. And I got some things I need to do today. I normally stream in midday, and it's already nighttime, so I need to get some stuff done today. Thank you again for those of you watching here on Twitch. Thank you guys. For those of you at home watching this on YouTube, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know at www.Rackthor Twitch on Facebook, or Facebook /Rackthor Twitch, or on my Twitter, or here message me on Twitch. All those links will be in the description below. Thank you guys. Y'all have a good one.